your PC, whatever you call it. Useless agent is on your Facebook. Rental for your PC, whatever you call it.
Alright, how you guys doing? Sorry about that. Alright, morning guys, another goddamn day. So, today is what, the 16th now? Been doing this shit for, I don't even know. I don't list out the, issues or, episodes that I do. I could be on episode 10 or episode 50. I really don't know. You think that when you do these kind of things, there would be like this little spot right here. I know you can't see my finger, but right up here, there's normally a little spot that tells you, just a little Streamlab info, and yeah, mine never tells me what you think it would tell you which which issue this is, or how many times you've recorded. I don't know, something. So yeah, I don't know what episode this is, and I don't think anyone cares. Start off with our morning ritual. Still haven't gotten any word on my friend in the hospital, so just again, our thoughts are with you. We love you, Sandra. Please come back the same way I've always known you and loved you. So, yesterday did a bunch of talked about a lot yesterday, but what I thought was really funny was that I didn't get to... Wow, it's smoky. So yeah, I never got to talk about certain things that I wanted to touch upon. One of them being the new comic book that I got out. Well, we don't have it out yet, but it's still being made, and it's going to be a graphic novel called Callous, and just really excited about this because it's a whole new project, and yeah, I mean, if you know anything about me, I love art in like every form. The only art I suck at is drawing. So a comic book would normally not be the right direction for me, but since I have, very talented people, but watching my back, like Jay Santiago, like I said, he does all of our usual work for like our platform's symbol, the Useless Agent trademark symbol. He did that. He did the first look at what Callus's younger days would look like. I put that up on Facebook. There's also a new video out that is on YouTube right now that's simply called Callous, and it is a 4-minute sneak peek of what we have in store, and just the dark brutality of the story, which takes place in a fictional city, kind of like Gotham is like a mixture of Chicago and New York. Metropolis is pretty much more like a New York. And then Marvel always does New York. From Spider-Man to Daredevil to Punisher. I mean, even Captain America himself is from Brooklyn. And Spider-Man, I think, is from Queens. So, being a Chicagoan, we naturally hate New York. I used to feel that when I was younger, but not so much anymore now that I've grown up. It's like, excuse me. I think I was just angry at the fact that New York was like the only city people knew of. And, when we were called the second city, I always thought we were the second city because compared to New York. But it turns out second city has nothing to do with our place amongst the totem pole. And it has nothing to do, the fact that we're called the Windy City, I always thought had to do with our weather. It has nothing to do with our weather and everything to do with our politics. So, yeah, it's definitely an argument that was stupid from the get-go, and I never should have even cared about it. It was just back then, if you watched movies back then, and when you're a 90s kid, you watch a lot of 80s movies and 70s movies. And the 70s, the 80s, up to the 90s, everything was New York. Every movie took place in New York. And when taxes started going up, that's when you started noticing shows were staying away from New York and going towards, either they were done in a sound studio in LA. And, I love how the movie Moonwalker with Michael Jackson kind of showed us that little back door. There's a scene where he's running through LA in a production studio, and you get to see just how fake LA really, or not how fake it is, but just, it has to be fake. It's there's movies being made here. So when you see all the set designs and Michael Jackson's running through while this like crowd of people, fans are chasing him through it really helps you understand just how elaborate everything is. And I always thought that was funny, and it was like a nice look behind the curtain for me. Being a huge fan of movies and being a diehard fan of film and television. So after that, people, the taxes went up and people started filming outside of LA, outside of New York. So, I think Home Alone was probably the first movie that I really watched that had to do with Chicago. And I'm like, yay, finally. And then the very next one they make is called Lost in New York. And I'm like, God damn it, this guy lived in Winnetka. Winnetka is a tiny little suburb within the city, and it's where all the rich people live. And if you ever want to go somewhere good for Halloween to get real good candy, go to fucking Winnetka. That's the best place. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Throat is really bad today. But not to mention that, but the it's Winnetka. The police response time is pretty slow, so if you're a bad kid and you just someone just stiffed you on some candy, you have plenty of time to egg their house and TP their fucking front lawn, and they have those stereotypical houses. Now, growing up in Chicago, we used to walk around to stores, apartments, that never slowed any of us down. Halloween was still Halloween. If you lived in I don't care if you lived in a 10-story apartment building, we'd be ringing every bell, And so, a lot of times they would buzz you up and you just go up the stairs and go to each floor. My mom personally would drive us to the better parts, the suburbs, and we'd get the better candies, and she would drive us to the better neighborhoods because we didn't live in one. lived in a shitty neighborhood, but excuse me. A lot of the times when you live in a shitty neighborhood, you're like borderline from a very nice neighborhood. And so there was, Albany Park, which was kind of garbage. But outside of Albany Park, you had like Ravenswood Manor, and that's where like all these really nice houses were. And I spent probably years in that park. There's a Manor Park right there. I must have spent years in that park. So there was this one Asian guy that lived on the end of the block. Excuse me, one more. So this guy, he was the stereotypical awesome rich guy. He gave you $1 instead of the usual crap candy. They would give you like full bars of candy, like full fucking Kit Kats and full Snickers. But I digress. So I wanted a good city for this comic book, and now the basic storyline for it is Callus is a nickname, of course. His name is not really Callus, and he's a homeless guy, and so I like to think of him as like a homeless Batman, just without the resources, without all that shit. So he doesn't do the grandiose fucking beam going straight up to the sky, third act kind of cliche. It really takes place amongst the underground, which if you ever had the unfortunate experience of being homeless, you would know how fucking dangerous it really is at night. And I mean, it is not dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous enough when you're just walking with your girlfriend late at night and you're just trying to get home from the bar or whatever. So, I mean, you should definitely take a taxi if you don't live in the best neighborhoods. But the typical Batman, Superman situation where they're there to save the world, that's not his bag, He doesn't have those kind of resources, and he doesn't live in a world where there are superheroes. And so he's not a superhero. He's more of just an anti-hero. And just a city full of, really colorful, awesome characters from his one of his only friends is named Street, who's a crackhead thief that has kind of watched over him. He's like 10 years older. And there's, the old man Remus, which, it means a lot when you're an old man and you've been homeless for a long time. That means you really know your streets, because in the life of a homeless person, you don't have that much time on your hands when it comes to a life, a lot of their lives are cut short simply because of disgusting assholes that come out of colleges. So if you look at college towns like Evanston, Illinois, yeah, I'm calling you fuckers out. Northwestern, it's a very well-known secret. I don't know. The only way it's a secret is to the people that are just, walking with the blinders on. But it's a very well-known secret that these kids from Northwestern, for years, have been abusing the homeless in the middle of the night. And they go out and and it doesn't just happen in college towns, but I'm just going to use this as a reference because it needs to fucking stop. In Evanston, this is a very nice little college town, and I spent a lot of time there. because a lot of my resources are out there, so I have to go out there for therapy and stuff. Um, However, I have plenty of homeless friends, and I just always had a respect for them because they live a totally different life. And I think I must have been 19, 20 when I think I was 18 when I really discovered the life that they live. And it was because I worked an overnight job at a Deluxe Diner on Clark and Devon. It's not there anymore. It's got a different name. It's still a diner, though. And we used to get these crackheads that would come in with these big bags, garbage bags of shit. And we would come check it out. If there was anything we bought or liked, we'd buy it. I must have gotten most of my CD collection from them because I bought. I had a Green Day Nimrod import, and I didn't have. Oh no, it wasn't Nimrod. It was actually I had a Green Day Nimrod import, and I had Green Day's Dookie, but I did not have the Green Day Dookie with the Ernie on the back, and I always wanted that one. So yeah, the crackhead comes by and he had it, and it was sitting down drinking a beer with him, where he talked to some of his friends, and there was like some war going on, and he told me all about it. And I had a homeless friend named Mike who was a great guy, and he was killed in his sleep. It's just a sad reality, and it's very real. Now in Evanston, like I was saying, it's so ignored that it happens all the time, but it never gets reported. And this also goes for sexual assault, even rape. That's right, I do not censor myself on fucking words, okay? This is the truth, this is what happens. And if you're watching my show, you're probably not a 3-year-old child. So, I even put on my shit that, you can't comment on Facebook. Your comment? Oh, it's not working on Facebook. Oh, I wonder why. That's weird. Normally, that's where all my comments come from. Hey, Christine. That's Christine in the chat box. Another one of our, gonna be one of our voiceovers. And I can't see you here. What do you mean you can't see me here? You're talking to me right now. So, is it just audio or something? Are we having a problem? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to reset. I don't know. Let me go ahead and check. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna go ahead and check, because there is a way to check on here if we're rolling or not. Like I said, I get a second little screen here that tells me what's going on. Yeah, it says we're live. It's showing up right now. There shouldn't be any problems, Christine. I don't know. So like I was saying, the lifestyle of the average homeless person is very short, and it's very sad. And so I wanted something, because I was having a friend, and I'm sorry, Christine is saying, yeah, it's saying it's limiting who can watch it. That's really weird, because I did change that recently, but I thought it was only for people that wanted to comment. I did not think it would have anything to do with anybody else. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to reset this, so we'll be right back.